when you talk to scientists informally, and you're just shooting the breeze, after a good observing run, and you're happy, and it's very early in the morning, and you're sitting there with a cup of coffee, saying, how did it go? I would say that what gets everyone excited is the mystery, the unknown, and just the love of the stars. When I was little, there were two kinds of people that always got me running to the front door. One was when the gypsies came, and the other is when the encyclopedia salesman came. We always bought cloth from the gypsies, and then when the encyclopedia salesman came, and they would come and sit down and display all these beautiful books. And there was one time that they brought an astronomy special book, and it was all about astronomy. And there was this one picture of Jupiter, almost like floating in the blackness of space. And it was that image of this mysterious planet, this exotic world, surrounded by blackness, that just made me want to understand what it was all about. The other memory that I have from very early on was when I was a child, we would go and spend the summers at a ranch outside of Cordoba, which is where I grew up. The kids would just lie down on the mats outside, and we would just stare up at the beautiful, beautiful moonless night sky. And I remember the shooting stars and wondering what they were. And being in the southern hemisphere, you also get to see the Magellanic Clouds, which are two irregular galaxies that are companions to our own galaxy. And I thought they were clouds, On the other hand, they didn't move, and they would show up in the same spot night after night. And so that kind of, the mystery and the unknown is what kind of got me hooked into the very idea of even considering astronomy as a career. I remember when we went to Siidet, Turkey in 2006 for the March 29th eclipse. I remember the date. I had never seen a total solar eclipse, and I had seen many pictures of it. I had seen live webcasts. I had seen videos of it, but nothing prepares you for being there. Because it's not just the image of the moon covering the sun and seeing the corona. It's the entire context. And actually being able to share that moment with a bunch of other people, you felt the dynamic movement of the moon, the sun, and the earth. You felt part of this movement. It's a humbling moment. It's a moment of pure acceptance that we are part and parcel of this universe. Ultimately, what astronomy is a common ground that unifies all of humanity under the same canopy. So we all have the night sky, we all have the sun. Even if you can't see, you still feel the sun, So astronomy, and especially the sun as our nearest star, is a unifying entity. One of my favorite things when I give talks or do workshops with teachers and students is to have them hold themselves. I say, okay, now go ahead and just hug yourself. What do you feel? And they look at me like, okay, you're crazy. I feel my arms, And so I just tell them, you are touching atoms that were part of stars 5 billion years ago. So it's really neat to think about that we are indeed, stardust. And that's literally true. It's not a metaphor. And then if you talk to elders from different cultures around the world, just about all of them will tell you that we are related to the stars, and that we're related to the moon and the sun, and of course the earth. Like in the Navajo language, the word for star translates to the ancient relation from which I came. I mean, that says the same thing, only differently. The neat thing is that there is a universal recognition by humans around the world that we are related to the stars.